to Benevolence, where kindness matters and all are welcome to the table. I'm your host, Ceci Diaz. Season 5 is finally here, and I am so excited for what is in store for you all in the next 10 weeks. We will be covering topics related to self-love, toxic relationships, worry, identity, raising a family overseas, and amazing testimonies that will encourage you to tell your own story. Season 5 is new and improved. During this season, I've added something new and inspirational called Benevolent Wednesdays, in which 10 women will be featured in addition to our special guest. They will give an encouraging word and brief testimony of what God has done in their life. So make sure to follow me on Instagram at Benevolence Podcast and on Facebook to see who will be featured every Wednesday. Make sure to tune in every Monday for a spanking new episode of Benevolence. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, spreading the word, subscribing, praying, and supporting me on this journey. I pray that as you tune in every week, you are empowered, blessed, and encouraged to be the best version of yourself. You are tuning into episode 1. Corona what? On this episode of Benevolence, I felt that it was appropriate to discuss what we are currently going through nationally, globally, and honestly, personally. I'm going to discuss my feelings on the coronavirus, or aka COVID-19. Honestly, I had a whole other episode to start off season 5 of Benevolence, but I thought that it would be appropriate to talk about what's going around the world and our nation. I was inspired by this week's Red Table Talk with the Smith family, where they discussed the virus and etc. They brought in different people, and I thought that we could talk about it first, and then I have some words of encouragement for you all. So first, let's discuss how this whole thing started. So huge disclaimer, I'm pulling all of my information from the CDC website. So I'm not going to any other source because there's a lot of fake news going around. And I want to make sure that the information that I'm giving is factual. So I am not like a scientist. I don't work for the government or anything. I literally just did my research on the CDC website, and everything that I'm going to mention to you guys is straight from there. So just keep that in mind. So basically, how did the virus spread? Many of you guys know already, but I'm just going to say it again. This is actually also not only for our listeners and all that, but this is kind of like a cool record keeping, like something to have in, so we can go back and listen to it and just reminisce on this crazy start of 2020. So not only am I giving all this information that you already know, but I'm also giving it to you so that it's also good for me and we can reminisce and look back at this crazy year. So anyways, so let's start on how the virus spread. So according to the CDC, the virus was detected in Wuhan City, China. I'll be honest to tell you, I've never heard of Wuhan City ever until this thing started at the end of 2019. And basically, in Wuhan City, there is a live animal market. So the virus jumped from animal to human, and then from there, it spread from person to person. Now, let me talk to you guys about this whole live animal market. A couple days ago, I finally worked up the nerve with my husband and my brothers and my in-laws. We searched the Wuhan live animal market, and we actually saw what it's like. And oh my goodness, it's crazy, bro. Oh my God, I was not expecting it to be like that crazy and just sad. It's so sad. And if you're an animal lover, I do not recommend you looking at it because like I said, it's a live animal market. So there's a lot of animals that are alive that are, going to be currently going through the process of not being alive. And then there's also a lot of different animals that you will see that are cooked and are given to the people that are buying from the market. So it's a pretty crazy and intense video, and there's very different types of videos, but if you're interested and that's something like that you don't mind watching, like honestly check it out because it's kind of crazy. I've never had a pet, so I don't have any personal connection to animals, so to speak. So watching it wasn't a big deal for me. So I just wanted to give you that information. So basically, yes, the CDC says it was detected in Wuhan City from this live animal market. And then from there, it jumped from animal to human. And then it started to spread across the Wuhan province. And then, as you know, it's finally all over the world. So what is COVID-19? So COVID-19, I am not an expert. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I am a teacher, a high school teacher, English teacher. I'm telling you that literally this information I took out from the CDC website. So basically, here's what they say. Coronaviruses, so we call it the coronavirus, but coronaviruses are a large family of viruses, and they cause illness in people and in some animals. This virus can spread very easily to others through respiratory droplets. So it's important that if you feel the symptoms, you isolate yourself immediately, call your doctor or the hospital if you are feeling severe symptoms. So, this virus, everybody, was freaking out. Oh my God, it's on the tables, on the doors, on the knobs, all over these public places. Yes, there are some instances where, yes, the virus can be on a surface, but over time, over all of these people getting the coronavirus, they've noticed that it's literally through respiratory droplets. So it's literally airborne pretty much. And that's where it gets kind of scary. So how does it spread? Like I mentioned before, it's transferred through respiratory droplets. If you are preparing food or you're eating, I haven't said this, but you've heard this countless of times. Make sure to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Always wash your hands after blowing your nose, coughing, sneezing, or going to the bathroom. It may be possible to contract the virus by touching a surface, like I said before, or an object and then touching your face, but it's not thought to be the main way of spreading the virus. And this is why it's so important to do this whole thing that we've been doing for the past week called social distancing. So basically there's a curve that we want to try to keep under that line, that margin of where it's where hospitals can help those that are in need. So that's pretty much what it is. I don't know too much information about this whole curve. I just know that they truly recommend us to social distance ourselves. So I'm just gonna go right into it. Let's talk about how to protect yourself. So here we go. First and foremost, avoid being exposed to the virus. And the only way that you can avoid being exposed to the virus is by social distancing yourself and by not going anywhere, period. So I honestly have no idea why there are still people going on vacation, traveling, they're going around, spring breakers, literally, I don't understand. Stay home, people. I'll be honest to tell you, I am a major, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this before. It's a Spanish term called andariega. Andariega is I like to go out. I like to go different places and stuff like that. So I am a major andariega. I don't like to be home. I am not a homebody. And I'll be honest to tell you, since my last day of work, 2 Thursdays ago, I have not seen the light of day. Yes, obviously I've seen it through the cracks of my window. I have gone out a couple times to ride bike with my daughter and my husband, but I have not gone out of my street for a week and a couple other days. So it's major. It's major for me. Another thing, me and my daughter, we've stayed home throughout this, and we will continue to stay home until it clears. As a mother, I cannot put my kid or my family at risk. So please stay home, people. Please stay home. Another thing is my grandma is currently in Philadelphia, and she lives alone. And as of today, air travel to and from New York and Philly have been canceled. So I have to keep my faith, that my abuela is going to be okay. So people, please stay home. Please stay home. The second thing is wash your hands, and not just wash your hands often. So look, I'm a high school teacher, and you don't know how many times I've seen females leave the bathroom without washing their hands. It's ridiculous and it's disgusting. Now that this coronavirus is working its way around, now everyone wants to wash their hands. Now there's no soap. There's no hand soap. There's no dish soap. I mean, they should have been doing this healthy act a long time ago, and it's crazy. So, wash your hands. Wash your hands when you cough. Wash your hands when you pick your nose. I know people do that. So after you pick your nose, go wash your hands. If you're gonna touch any type of bodily fluids, make sure you wash your hands because you're gonna touch your face. And like honestly, I touch my face all the time. For those that know me, I have like an eye situation on my left eye in which the tears literally come out of my eye, which is called a closed tear duct. So my tear duct is completely closed on the left eye. So I have tears literally streaming down my face every few minutes or so. So I'm constantly wiping my eye. So I am literally that person that constantly touches their face, but it's not because I want to. It's because literally I have tears coming out all the time. So just wash your hands. Wash your hands, people. And if soap and water are not available, use hand sanitizer, which obviously we cannot find. So that's pretty crazy. Anyways, and the third and final thing is stay at home if you're sick, okay? Please keep this stuff in mind. Stay at home if you're sick, even if it's not the same symptoms as the coronavirus. Just stay home. Stay home. Just keep yourself in your house safe and sound, because once you do, you'll be able to keep yourself safe and you'll be able to keep other people safe as well. Cover your coughs and sneezes. This comes from preschool. My preschool daughter knows that if she coughs or sneezes, she does the little dab and she sneezes right into her elbow. Just do that, people. Please do that. And then wear a face mask only if you are sick. Everybody went buck wild when this thing started getting closer to Central Florida, and basically all the face masks were gone. And after a while, people began to realize we don't need face masks. We only need face masks only if we are sick. If we are sick and we need to go somewhere, whatever sickness it may be, you wear a face mask to protect yourself and to protect others. But you do not need a face mask if you're fine. So keep that into consideration. And then clean and disinfect your home as much as you can. So before I go into certain logistics of what to do if we are infected, I've called one of my best friends, Pamela Bultron. She is a medical assistant at a private doctor's office, so that she can give us firsthand insight of what's going on. So I wanted to talk to her. We're not together physically. We're going to be having this conversation virtually, and basically we're just going to have the conversation as to what she's experiencing at the doctor's office and what she can tell us about this coronavirus. So stay tuned. So first, thank you for doing this, because I had like a whole other plan for the first episode of Benevolence, but then I'm like, we're going through like this huge crisis, so why not talk about it, you know? So I've been talking about just where it kind of came from and things like that. But what I wanted to talk to you about was basically your experiences since it came to Central Florida. How has it like affected, what you do as a medical assistant in a private doctor's office? So if you could just, I don't know, if you can just pretty much tell our listeners how has the private doctors and these offices, how have they prepared for the virus?
So first of all, obviously hospitals are like, they're always going to be open. So it doesn't matter what a crisis it is. The hospital have to be open no matter what. So because I work in a private practice, we run things a little different, just for the fact that we're limited. We're not 24 hours. We're not equipped with everything that any emergency needs. So, for example, where I work, we're primary office. So we're a family doctor. So we pretty much, see every age. We pretty much take care of like anything that is chronic conditions and things like that. So for now, how it's been affected, obviously when a person is sick, the first person they go is to the primary office. So we're seeing a lot of people with, cough, nasal congestions, and things like that normally. But now, because of the whole break of this corona pandemic thing, um, we are pretty much taking like an extra step and an extra careful, I would say, with not only to protect us, but protect everyone.
Yeah.
So we recently started a triage station. Pretty much just when you go to the doctor's office. I mean, I'm sorry, to the hospital.
Yeah.
When you see, so I don't know if you've been ever to the hospital. But
Mm,
for example, when you had Victoria, so
yeah.
they check you in, they put you to a triage, they do your vitals, they do the questionnaire, and then they move you to the delivery room. So
Okay.
that's the triage. So it's kind of like the first thing they do to be seen or to be heard, whatever. So in
Hmm.
this case, because we're not a hospital, we have to do this outside because we
Wow.
want to keep everyone outside.
Hmm.
So pretty much we built a tent, like an outside tent.
Yeah.
We just put tables and pretty much every single person that before they even go to the inside the office, they have to go through the tent. So pretty much what we do is we tell patients, hey, just come back to the tent, and we're like literally in front of the entrance, so
Okay.
they have to automatically go through us.
Hmm.
So pretty much what I do is we have to take the vitals for every single patient, and then after that we do like a whole questionnaire. I'm just gonna give you an example. We're gonna ask them, have you traveled outside the state or the country in the last 30 days? Have you been exposed? Um, have you had any fever, cough, nasal congestion, headache, abdominal pain, diarrhea, body aches, anything that can relate to infection?
Hmm.
What our practice is doing, because we're a private practice, what we're doing is that if you have a cough, it's automatically you're not going to go inside the office.
Wow.
So pretty much I had to be like, okay, so you're here for your physical exam, or you're here for knee pain, or you mentioned a cough, or you mentioned it with a fever, or you mentioned a sore throat. So we have to change this office visit to a televisit. A televisit is pretty much what we're doing right now. We're doing like almost FaceTime.
Yeah.
So that's what we do for the doctor. Many insurance have their own providers, their own doctors. That is, if you call behind your insurance card, they have a phone number there, and you can call and you can do a webcam with our provider.
Yeah.
And then they do certain. Let's say you're calling because you have knee pain, so they're going to ask you certain questions. Okay, due to that, we're going to send you this. We're going to send you that. We can send you that. A lot of people don't know that, but most of the insurance have this service.
Yes, absolutely. And
Um,
especially I wanted to tell you, and whoever's listening, like if you have Cigna,
mhm.
um, we have uh
Yeah, Cigna.
Cigna has their own, but then I also
Hmm.
use this other one called Amwell. And
Hmm.
that one I've done a couple times, especially with my ear infections. Because I for some reason I would get ear infections on the weekend and I couldn't go to my doctor and the pain was
Exactly.
unbearable. So I would do the face to face and they would give me prescriptions there. So it's very beneficial.
Exactly. So a lot of people get birth control through that
Okay.
because they're young and they don't want their parents to know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I, I have a lot of people they have to move for jobs, and then
Mhm.
they cannot see their home. So it's a pretty good thing. People, it's like, oh, I don't feel like it. Well, in a case of emergency, is very helpful. I
Yeah.
think it is.
Mhm.
So we're not giving an option to these people.
Wow.
I know I have a couple patients that are very upset that they came over here because they have a cough. Right now, everyone is a suspect.
Yeah.
Everyone is in the same line. So even though I'm seeing you, I can tell you have a nasal congestion, or you have sinusitis, or you might have allergies by the medications that you take, by the chronic conditions that you take. But because everyone is a suspect,
Mhm.
we have to treat everyone the same. So it's very frustrating for us that we're like literally doing this not to protect us, but to protect that person and to protect that people's family, because people don't understand this is a pandemic.
Mhm.
People are dying by the minute.
Mhm.
And we have to be very understandable. Like a lot of people, and this is just a personal thing, like a lot of people are like making memes about it on Facebook and how, oh, I'm in quarantine and I'm here and I'm bored. I'm like, I don't have that privilege.
Mhm.
I don't.
Mhm.
And I can be exposed to this.
Mhm.
So you know what we have to do is for pray for people that are, have to face this by day. But anyways, continue the flow. So I ask these kind of questions, and we offer the services. Yes, there's people that get mad. Yes, there's people that be saying, I don't have the coronavirus. How do we know? How do
Exactly.
we know?
Mhm.
How do we know? And a lot of people say, oh yeah, but how the doctor is going to treat me if they're not going to hear me or they don't see me?
Mm.
People need to understand medicine is what you tell the doctor.
Mhm.
That's why we ask you, when did it started? What are your symptoms? Have you used any medication? What do you do that aggravates the symptoms? What do you do that helps alleviate this? Is it getting worse or is it getting better? Due to those information, the doctor makes a decision. I know it's very shocking for people,
Mhm.
but that's what medicine is. People think doing blood tests, people think doing x-rays and things like that are like the last word. No. We treat by symptoms. And I'm going to give you an example. People don't think about this, but the influenza is still there.
Yeah.
I still have people that have flu, and people have died more of influenza than coronavirus.
Yes.
And the influenza, it gets faster contagious than
Wow.
coronavirus. So people, so because that is there too, we don't know. Okay, flu is contagious and corona is contagious. And this is something that people need to understand. This is a virus. A virus do not get treated. Infection does. If you have an ear infection, if you have a throat infection, if
Mhm.
you have a urine infection, you treat those with antibiotics because you're killing that bacteria.
Mhm.
But a virus, you cannot get, you don't kill a virus. So that's why this is so hard, because a virus you treat by symptoms. So if a virus make me cough, I'm going to take something for the cough. If this virus make me get a headache, I'm going to take something for the headache. If this virus is, getting me dizzy or whatever, I'm going to take something for those symptoms.
Okay.
There's not going to be a cure for this.
Mhm.
It's like the flu. It's when you have a cold, and now with the corona, it's the same thing. Why is so, oh, how this became a pandemic is because nobody has been exposed to this type of corona. Now, coronavirus has been in the planet for a really long time.
Yeah.
How do you know this? If you look at your Lysol spray, you're going to see all the bacteria that they kill,
Yes.
and you can find coronavirus.
Yes.
People don't know this. So you need to be aware that we've been exposed to a lot of things, but because this is a new strength, we don't have immunity to it. There's no vaccine. We've never been exposed to it.
Mhm.
Your body doesn't know what to do with it. And they compare it. This virus is compared to when people have HIV. Because the
Mm.
HIV, people don't know they have it because there's no symptoms. You start getting symptoms after many time after. And because what it does is this virus goes to you, inside you, stays in your system floating like this is a party,
Mhm.
and then it goes through your bloodstream, and then it starts developing. And that's why people are dying, because then your lungs are stop working, your organs stop working. And it's worse with adult people, because a lot of people have diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, especially that people that smoke, people that have asthma, they have allergies. It affects it more because it's this virus developed as a upper respiratory infection.
Okay.
Like you think you're a cough,
Mhm.
but that affects your lungs, and
Yeah.
with that, you're breathing.
Mhm.
So that's why it's so hard to treat, because
Yeah.
there's not a cure for it.
Wow.
So, And also, I was going to tell you something. People don't think about this, but this is how fast people can get contagious with anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's so important. You need to wash your hands before go to the bathroom and after going to the bathroom. When you come from home, you need to wash your hands constantly, because you don't see no other things are like going crazy because we're already exposed to it.
Exactly.
But because this is a new one, your hands, you can build an empire and you can destroy an empire with your hands, pretty
Wow.
much. This is
That's
what it is. So we just have to be careful. That's why people say, but what's the cure? There's no cure.
good. Okay.
It's just clean. You
So
have any questions?
yeah, so what are like the major symptoms? Because like I've been seeing so many different things online.
Hmm.
So
Definitely.
what are the like the major ones that you need to look out for?
Okay, so the major is cough, shortness of breath, sore throat, and sinus congestion. You feel congestion, like kind of like allergies kind of symptoms. But this virus attack a lot the lungs for some reason, so you get shortness of breath very fast. Those are the like main topic, the main top symptoms.
Yeah, because I know like different people, they experience it differently. Some people have body aches
Hmm.
and pains and other things. So
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, that comes with it. That comes with it. It's like the influenza. The influenza, people don't hear a lot because it's very common.
Hmm.
And why it's more control, because the influenza, if I have it and we're close, if I cough, or you breathe that air that I just coughed,
Yeah.
you're going to feel those symptoms by the next day.
Mm.
So pretty much you've been treating fast. But this coronavirus, the incubation means that when it goes inside your body, it stays there and it's not going to react after 14 days. That's the incubation period.
Wow.
So after 14 days, you're having it. Now you're going to have symptoms. So in 14 days, how many people you touch, you say hi to, you touch the surface, you clean your nose, and you didn't wash your hands.
Mm.
So that's why it's so scary about. So I don't know if I have it until 14 days. And now they're saying 20 days.
Ooh. Okay.
Hmm.
And then I
Yeah.
guess my last question would be, what should you do
Hmm.
if you have close contact with someone who has it or feels the symptoms? Because um, like I don't know, like I live with people in my house, so like he or she is like feeling like some aches and pains, but we don't know if it's that. You know what I mean? So what
Hmm.
should we do? What should we do if we feel the symptoms or someone in our household has the symptoms?
So the first question you have to ask, have you traveled outside the state or the country?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other question is, um, 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 where do you work? Has anyone family member have trouble? And then also if you experience any symptoms. Now, let's say they're all positive, and the worst case scenario, you just came from Japan, just being, extra.
Yeah.
Um, the first thing is like the things we test for the coronavirus, they're very limited, at least in private practice, like us. We get like maybe very few. I don't want to say name, I mean, how many, but it's very few tests that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, because people are going crazy with this, when you call the health department, they're going to screen you. Have you done this? The same question that I just said, that's what they're going to ask you. So, if you don't qualify, they're not going to do a test for you,
Okay.
because we need to say now, because it's so low demand, they're trying to say this test for health providers and people that are working on the field. I'm
Okay.
not saying that they're going to decline to do a test for you, because if you're positive, through all those criteria that you need to meet to be like, okay, now we're going to do a test, they're going to do it for you. You can either call the health department, and I think hospitals, ER, are
Mm-hmm.
doing it. Now, if you don't have no symptom, you have no trouble, and you've been out of your home, and you go to the ER, and you say that, they're going to send you back home. Because ER is known for testing. ER is for emergency
Okay.
and present symptoms.
Okay.
So, FYI.
Okay. Well, that's great information. I pray over you. I declare
Yeah.
the blood of Jesus over you and your family as
Yes.
as you help,
Mhm.
help patients with this craziness
Mhm.
that's happening. So,
Yeah.
Pam, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pam, for this important information. Love you, girl. So moving on, I want to talk to my parents really quickly. For my parents out there who are social distancing with their kids, I feel you. It's only been a week and I feel like I've run out of things to do. One thing that did help me was a schedule. And putting Victoria on a schedule helped her sanity and honestly helped my sanity. So thank you, Crystal from Miami, for putting up that schedule for us, and we are following it as much as we can, and we're just doing the best that we can. That's parents. You can only do the best that you can, honestly. So, for everyone else out there social distancing, here are some of my suggestions on how to get through this crazy pandemic that is not only threatening us physically but mentally as well. So, make sure to check up on your loved ones and your friends. Um, and just check up on your grandparents and tell them you love them and make sure they're taking precautions as well. So now in regard to this list, I don't do all of them. And if I had time, I'd probably be able to do all of them. But starting on Monday, I am back on training for virtual learning from my job. And then I have my 5-year-old with me. So it's going to be pretty crazy. But these are some things that, there are 10 things that I think would help us in our season of social distancing. So here they are. So the first one is read a good book. Or, like my pastor says, read that Bible. So I would highly recommend, just if there's books that you have that you haven't picked up all year, go ahead and just take some time, take half an hour and just read a chapter a day, or read that Bible, pick up the Bible and meditate on God's word, as I know it's going to help you, especially through this time. The second one is listen to music that makes you feel happy, especially worship music. So some of my happy music, it's like my techno music. If you've listened to previous episodes, previous seasons, you guys know that I like my electronic and techno music and it makes me happy. But also worship music. There's a current song out there by Carrie Job and Elevation Worship called The Blessing, and that song is just, it was made and released just in perfect timing. And if you haven't heard that song, I would highly recommend that you do, because it will bless your life. Okay, moving on, number 3, watch a new series. So go on Netflix, Hulu, whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that you stream, watch something new. Me and my family, we're currently watching The Circle on Netflix, and it's pretty good. It's about social media, and it's about this group of people that live in an apartment or whatever. And I'm not gonna say anything else, but it's really good. It's called The Circle, so check it out. Number 4, FaceTime or Zoom your friends and loved ones. Yesterday, I was on 2 different Zoom meetings. It was just so nice seeing everyone. And honestly, the day before, I spoke to 3 special people in my life, and I called my grandmom, and it was just so nice. So just take time and call everyone you know and make sure that everybody is okay. And it'll help you too. It'll help you pass through the day. It'll make you feel good and all of that. So do that. The next one is my number 5, start a creative project. So some people are painting, some people are graphic designing, some small businesses are just, even though they're being hit economically, they're just continuing to create. So there's a lot of people just doing great things in their home and taking advantage of the time that they have. So as for me, I've been podcasting, so it's really taking up a lot of my time. So start a creative project, learn a new language, research on something you've always wanted to know about, and I think that'll help you as well. Number 6, exercise. I don't do that, but I wish I could. And I wish, I don't know, that's like something common that I see around people exercising. But honestly, I feel like I'm going to come out of this bigger than I am now, because all I've been doing is eating and I eat out like from anxiety. So yeah. But if you can exercise, that's good for you. The seventh thing is to cook something yummy. And I'll be honest to say that on this first week, I've cooked every day. Yes, exhausting, but I've enjoyed it. So just cook up some new recipes and see. Try not to use up all your quarantine food, but cook something. Cook something. Number 8, go around for a walk. Now, I'm not saying go to the mall. I'm not saying go to Publix or Walmart if you don't have to. Go around your neighborhood. So I've been doing this every day when Anthony gets home from work. And then I get on my bike and go around with Victoria. And it's honestly so refreshing to see the sun and to feel the air and hear the birds, because it's just, I don't know, I've been living inside for a very long time already. So go around for a walk. Number 9, look through old photo albums or old videos of you and your family. Now, I haven't started this yet, but tomorrow I'm going to go over my mom's house and I do want to look through old photo albums. So if you don't have anything to do, ask your mom, where are those old photo albums? Ask somebody, ask your grandmom, whatever it is, and just look through and reminisce on family photos and stuff. I know that it'll help you. You'll probably learn something new about your parents or your grandparents you've never known about. So take that time, look through old photo albums or old videos. And number 10, spend time with the people you live with. So honestly, for those that work from home or whatever, it may be hard to do, but try to just spend time with as much people as you can, especially the people that live with you. Just take the time to be with them. Now, moving on, for my peeps that suffer from anxiety like I do, here are a couple things that I want to just remind you. So, if you are going through this and it's been very, very tough, I feel you. You are not alone. But here are some things that have helped me along the way. First thing is to pray. Pray. If you can't deal with the day and you can't deal with the stress and you can't deal with the news, find a little corner in your house and pray. So pray. Worship. Like I said before, that song, The Blessing by Carrie Job and Elevation Worship, has gotten me through my day. Worship. Put some worship songs just so that you can be at peace. Third thing, read the word. So I always, I go on my Bible app, I read the plan of the day, and I also read the verse of the day, and then whatever else I feel inspired to read at that moment. Fourth one, take a warm bath or a shower. Start your day. Like, don't stay in pajamas all day. Just get up, take a bath, do your hair, and you don't have to put your you don't have to put on your pajamas. You can put shorts, a shirt, put some joggers on, but even though you're going to stay home, just put something on that will motivate you to start the day. Number 5 is watch some scenic videos. So this sounds a little weird, but this is something that I do. What I do is I occasionally watch Hawaii 4K videos on YouTube. And I also, I watch like Hawaii Hunters or something. And if you know me, Hawaii is one of my favorite places on earth. So watching these videos gives me like some peace of mind. Sometimes it makes me cry a little bit, but it's a good cry because it's like wishing to be there, it's the desire of being there. But overall, it helps me. So whenever I want to get away, I literally just go on YouTube, like find some Hawaii 4K videos and or watch some Hawaii Hunters or whatever it is, and it literally just helps me escape in that moment. So do that. Next one is talk to someone you love. The next one is write in your journal. So basically, I have a gratitude journal that asks specific questions. So especially in these times of uncertainty, it's important to look back and just reminisce and meditate on what you're grateful for. So do that. Make a list of things that you're grateful for. And then the final thing is unplug. Unplug from social media and the news. There's so much fake news going around, and it can easily give you anxiety. Take some time and just stay away. It'll help you in the long run. Remember, there are things that you can control. So these are the things that you can control, which are your physical and mental health. You can control your routine. You can control your mindset, what you eat, the way you treat others, and the way you treat yourself. But there are many other things that are out of your control, such as what is happening in the world. So, Olaf from Frozen said it best. He said, "We're calling this controlling what you can when things feel out of control." So, control what you can. So, as we continue this season of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety, let us focus on the truths that come from the Word of God. Philippians 4:8 says this: "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." So let us focus on that which is, not that which might be. What we are experiencing now is only temporary. It will pass. So keep an open mind during this time, and you're gonna get through this. We're all gonna get through this. And then later on this year, we'll look back and we're just gonna thank God for getting us through such a chaotic time in our world. So I send virtual hugs your way. I send the peace of God over you and your families. Please take time for God and for yourselves during these trying times. And stay tuned for next Monday's episode of Benevolence. You don't want to miss it. Love you guys. Stay safe.